It has no mass, but is present everywhere and fills all space. Orgone energy is found in life, animal movement, biogenesis, reproduction, evolution and growth. In consciousness, sensation, emotion, perception and thought. In cosmic and atmospheric processes, clouds, thunderstorms, atom, star, planet and galaxy. Mesmer called it animal magnetism. Bergson spoke of the elan, vital, life force. Reich called it orgone. There are women and men who lived in historical periods not belonging to them, light years removed from the context in which they lived. Minds enlightened by revolutionary ideas and discoveries that were too premature for the cultural and social times in which they were living. Many of them were persecuted, mocked, reviled, marginalized, and their research ignored, belittled, manipulated so that it seemed bogus and incomprehensible. Only years or centuries later has the courageous work of these lofty minds been re-evaluated and recognized as valid. In light of these horrors that mankind has perpetrated over time, we want to remember Freud's most brilliant pupil, who survived 2 world wars. Wilhelm Reich was born in Austria in 1897 and was a psychiatric physician who devoted his life to researching the existence of orgone energy. According to him, the cause of disease in general and cancer was precisely the lack of this vital energy. In his book The Biopathy of Cancer, he thoroughly documented his work concerning the treatment of several terminal patients deemed incurable by official medicine. Many of these patients were cured. His discovery was called by Albert Einstein a bombshell for physics. Unfortunately, he had to suffer unworthy censorship by the United States, and all of his books were burned by the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, a government agency that is still in charge of regulating food and pharmaceutical products. Reich's theories were termed eccentric the moment he devised a device called the orgone accumulator, a means of stimulating the movement of energy, dissolving it from blockages and redistributing it. It was a telephone-like booth, large enough to include a person sitting inside, covered with metal made up of alternating layers of organic and inorganic substances, insulated with steel wool. Presenting itself in the form of bionds, orgone energy manifests itself according to quanta. Each biond is a quantum of energy, as is the photon for light, although a distinction must be made between orgone and light, the immediate effect precisely of the presence of photons. Sharp symmetry, certainly pertinent recall to the concepts of quantum physics that see, in the quantum model, a fundamental organizational structural form of matter, from the Latin quantum, discrete and indivisible quantity of a given quantity. Importantly, orgone action, carried out through the application of the small accumulator, acts on the parasympathetic system, the system active during sleep, in charge of psychophysiological recovery. Laboratory examinations attest to the direct action of the device, by means of the parasympathetic system, on the immune system, going to stimulate and strengthen it. Evidence of this is attested on a proven increased lymphocytic action with consequent efficacy on various algic and infectious, anxious and depressive diseases. Well, there is more. Apparently, even biopathies of neoplastic origin would seem to benefit from the orgone-based therapeutic procedure. Later Reich hypothesized a functional correlation between the flow of energy in the human body and orgasm, promising an orgasmic utopia. In the late 1940s he emerged as the prophet of sex and anarchy. Although appreciated by many doctors and artists who in turn successfully experimented with the orgone accumulator, this eccentric approach, moreover favoring free sexuality and against monogamy, scandalized the orthodox and conservative American public. He was mistakenly arrested and released after 2 years. Freed, he turned his attention to UFOs and negative energies and was imprisoned again. He was accused of creating accumulators to defraud people, so he was banned from spreading them. Reich refused to appear before the court of justice, stating that scientific truths are evidenced and proven before experiments and not in courtrooms. He died in prison in November 1957, reportedly following a heart attack, accused of being an imposter doctor engaged in organizing illicit sexual activities. He was 60 years old. His ideas did not die with him, however. Other courageous minds inherited them, coming to the belief that biological information is transmitted not only biochemically, but also electromagnetically, through the universal energy field. The greatest obstacle to progress is fear, fear of losing control and privilege, fear of seeing one's certainty shattered, fear of change, fear of life itself. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the sacred gift. Albert Einstein. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below.